The night my mother died, she whispered something in my ear that shattered everything I thought I knew about my life. Her voice was weak, her breath shallow, but the words burned into me like fire. The truth is in the box under my bed. Don't trust anyone. I froze, unable to speak, as her hand slipped from mine. The steady beep of the heart monitor became a flat, endless tone. The nurses rushed in, but I didn't move. My mother was gone, and she had left me with a mystery I didn't even know existed. When I got home from the hospital that night, I went straight to her bedroom. The room smelled faintly of her perfume, lavender, and something older, like pages of a book kept closed for too long. My hands trembled as I knelt beside her bed, pulling away the dust-covered shoebox from beneath it. The lid creaked when I opened it. Inside, I found letters. Dozens of them, neatly tied with a red ribbon. The paper was yellowed, the ink faded, but every envelope was addressed to me. Some were dated as far back as 25 years, before I was even born. My stomach twisted. Why would my mother have letters written to me before my birth? And why hide them for decades? I untied the ribbon, choosing the one on top. The handwriting was elegant but unfamiliar. My dearest child, it began. If you are reading this, it means you are old enough to know the truth about who I am, and why I could never be a part of your life. The words swam before my eyes. I read them again and again, my heartbeat pounding louder with each sentence. The letter spoke of love, regret, and danger. It mentioned a man's name, someone I had never heard of, but hinted that he was watching me, even now. I sat there on the floor for hours, reading letter after letter, each one revealing more pieces of a story I had never been told. But none of them answered the question burning in my mind: who was this man to me, and why did my mother fear him so much? At the bottom of the box was one final envelope. It was sealed, unlike the others, and had a single word scrawled across it in my mother's handwriting: wait. Wait for what? That was when I heard a creak from the hallway. Slow, deliberate steps, coming closer to my mother's room. My breath caught in my throat. I slid the letters back into the box and shoved it under the bed. The doorknob rattled, and my heart pounded so hard I thought it would give me away. The door opened slowly, revealing my Uncle Daniel, my mother's younger brother. His face was pale, his eyes darting to the space under the bed before settling on me. "What are you doing in here?" he asked softly. I muttered something about looking for photographs, but I could feel his suspicion. He stepped into the room, his shoes making almost no sound on the carpet. "She told you something before she died, didn't she?" he said. His tone wasn't curious, it was certain. I didn't answer. His eyes flicked toward the bed again, and I knew he was looking for the box. Before I could react, he reached down and pulled it out. My pulse spiked, but when he opened it, it was empty. I realized, with a mix of relief and confusion, that the letters weren't there anymore. I could still smell the faint scent of lavender, but now it was mixed with something metallic, something like blood. My uncle's hand was shaking slightly as he stared at me, his lips curling into a strange smile. "You shouldn't go digging for answers you're not ready for," he murmured, stepping closer. "It might just get you killed." That night I barely slept. I kept thinking about the missing letters, about the man in them, and about the fact that my uncle somehow knew exactly what my mother had told me. The next morning, a plain brown envelope was slid under my door. Inside was one of the missing letters, and a Polaroid photograph. The picture showed my mother, younger, standing with a tall man in a dark coat. His face was partially turned away, but there was something unsettling about him. On the back of the photo, in my mother's handwriting, were 3 words: "He found us." From that moment, I knew 2 things. My mother's death was no accident, and whatever truth she'd hidden from me had just begun to unravel.